The first light of dawn crept slowly over the desert ridge, painting the land in gold and sorrow. A lone cowboy rode through the silence, his horse weary, his heart heavier than the rifle slung across his back. Dust clung to his coat, and guilt rode behind his eyes like a shadow that wouldn't let go. As he reached the burned-out remains of an old cavalry camp, he saw her, an Apache woman bound to a wagon wheel, wrists torn raw from struggling against the chains. Her long black hair clung to her face, her lips cracked, yet her gaze burned with defiance. She didn't beg for life, didn't even look afraid. When his horse stopped a few feet away, she raised her head just enough to whisper, "You come to finish what your people started." The cowboy's hand tightened on his reins. "No," he said softly, dismounting. "I came to end it." He stepped closer, each boot sinking deep into the morning dust. The wind stirred, carrying the scent of rust and ashes. When he reached her, he could see the marks of days spent under the sun, her skin blistered, her breath shallow. He pulled his knife free and crouched beside her. "Hold still," he muttered. Her eyes narrowed. "I'd rather die than be yours," she said, the words sharp as flint, her voice cracking but proud. He paused for a heartbeat, then slid the blade between the iron links. The chains snapped with a hollow clank, echoing through the emptiness like a ghost's cry. She fell forward, weak but standing, the broken cuffs still biting her skin. He didn't touch her, didn't even look at her long. "You're free," he said, turning to leave. "No one owns you now." For a long moment she just stood there, clutching her wrists as if unsure what freedom even meant. The desert stretched endless in every direction, but she looked toward the cowboy as he walked away, his figure fading in the rising sun. He didn't ask her name, didn't wait for thanks, just mounted his horse and rode off into the distance. Yet as the hours passed, she found herself following his trail. Maybe it was hunger, or maybe something deeper, curiosity, or disbelief that kindness could exist in a land built on cruelty. By nightfall she came upon his campfire. He didn't raise his gun when he saw her silhouette approach. He just said, "You look like someone who's seen hell." She sat down a few feet away, silent. He offered her a piece of dry bread. "Don't think this means I trust you," she said, taking it anyway. "Don't think I'm asking you to," he replied. For a while they ate without speaking, listening to the coyotes cry beyond the ridge. Finally she asked, "Why did you cut my chains?" His eyes stayed on the fire. "Because I've worn a few myself," he said quietly. "Not the kind you can see." Her expression softened, but her pride didn't fade. "You think setting me free makes you a good man?" He sighed. "No, but maybe it stops me from being the man I was yesterday." The night grew colder, and the woman lay awake, staring at the stars. She didn't trust him, not yet, but she felt something she hadn't felt in years: uncertainty. It was safer to hate cowboys, easier to believe they were all the same. But something about him didn't fit the stories she'd heard. When dawn came, she slipped away quietly, her footprints vanishing into the sand. The cowboy found her gone, but noticed his knife missing from beside the fire. A smile touched the corner of his lips. She had taken it, not out of greed, but out of memory. Somewhere out there, an Apache woman carried his blade and his kindness, both sharp enough to cut through the past. He looked to the horizon, where the desert met the sky, and whispered to himself, "She'll come back, when the wind brings her name again." For men like him, and women like her, fate had a way of crossing trails more than once. Out in the Wild West, where mercy was a stranger and love was a dangerous thing, two lost souls had found something they couldn't explain, something stronger than hate, softer than forgiveness.